Vasislos, it's your German boy here, and welcome back to If My Heart Had Wings. Now, the last episode, we went on our first date with Kotori. It was super adorable. Just go watch it if you haven't already. We're just gonna go ahead and jump right into this one. I don't want to waste any more time. Yeah, today started.
おはよう、ハット。まだ早いから寝てていいわよ。
I got out of bed and changed clothes. Oh, we're in Kotori's POV? Alright. Huh.
.あの日思い描いた憧れに、今日、手が届くんだ。緊張してよく眠れなかった。小鳥先輩、起きてますか？そろそろ起きないと遅刻しちゃいますよ。ええ、起きてるわ。すぐ行く。はーい。ハット、行ってくるわね。お利口にしてるのよ。今日も暑くなりそうだな。
I complained at the sun, and I guess we're back in our POV now. The sky was clear with an occasional cloud and some wind.
いい？こっちが操縦桿で、これがラダー操作よ。間違えないでね。こっちが操縦桿。こっちがラダー。
Kotori, with a meek expression, repeated the instructions. You shouldn't touch until instructed, especially during takeoff. It's unbelievably dangerous.
わかってる。
I was sitting behind Kotori, so I could only see the back of her head, but I think I could feel her nervousness.
小鳥。
Amane stopped by. She took the day off and came here. Amane wanted to see her designed cockpit in action, as well as watch the test flight to see if there should be any further modifications.
なーに、あまねちゃん。私今忙しいんだけど。緊張しているな。空は怖いぞ。高いからな。
Amane said in extremely good humor.
そういう時は、人という字を手にたくさん書いて飲むといいんだぞ。
Kotori looks and glares at Amane.
私、今気が立ってるから、からかうなら後にしてちょうだい。
Rather than make fun back at Amane, it's better to get even. Back when Amane was scared taking her test flight, Kotori, with her hands repeatedly writes the character from Man, slapped her in the face. People are surprisingly bad, even Amane.
そんな君にこれを貸してやろ
う。When she was finished, Kotori gave her a charm to protect against traffic accidents.
ありがとう、あまねちゃん。こちら配置につきました。
Asa, who worked the winch system, radioed.
よーし、じゃ飛びますか。小鳥、大空のデート楽しんできてね。
They closed the canopy over us, and I felt my nervousness grow. We checked everything one last time and made for takeoff. I was sitting behind Kotori in the back seat, and I tried to catch a glimpse of her mood. She sat nervous, itching to do something. Do you remember the procedures for takeoff?
ちゃんとシミュレータで予習してきたわ。
Amane's simulation software had a procedure for takeoff and landings as well. Kotori's problem was with her legs, not with her memory. I knew she was quite level-headed and that she could remember all the procedures. Okay, let's go! Weiter, los weiter! I gave the sign we were ready to Ageha outside. Ageha then gave the final okay to Asa. The winch was released. We've been properly disengaged from the tow line, but you should physically turn and confirm with your Augen. The winch pulled the glider, which is attached to a long rope, also connected by a hook, to the bottom of the glider. When the disengagement lever is pulled, the hook disconnects. If the glider does not properly disconnect from the hook, then a major accident can occur. The winch is designed to have the glider pass over it, in which the hook will automatically disengage from the winch. It's a system, but it isn't perfect.
平行策の離脱を確認。
Kotori visually confirmed the falling parachute. Excellent. Takeoff was a success. So today, for starters, we're going to cover basic operation principles.
はい。
I explained the glider's basic operations to Kotori. From normal turning to quick turns and important points they are in. For a normal glider flight, they have a few operations that needed to be remembered. The only complicated procedures are doing takeoff and landing. Sorry. After that, there are spins, stalls, and other proceeds necessary to avoid accidents. If you can't keep a straight head, then you can't use the techniques. But for today, the precautions were all I wanted to remember. Alright, give it a try.
はい。左旋回行きます。
Kotori squeezed the levers which operate the yoke and rudder. Relaxed, I keep a hand on the yoke. What is wrong with me today? The glider banked to the left and started turning. We're sliding inwards. Apply more pressure to the rudder. Kotori is applying enough pressure, but it was a habit of mine to give a little more in this instance. Sliding inwards means that the nose is facing outwards of the slide you're banking on. Just now, the glider was banking left. As we bank left, the nose should face the same side you're banking on to make a turn. If you don't keep the nose of the glider in the direction of travel, you'll lose the necessary lifting power and lose altitude. Kotori pulled back the lever which operated the rudder. The nose of the plane faced inward. When the glider gained equilibrium, it smoothly sailed left. You can really see the yaw string. The yaw string is like the tail of a worm attached to the front of the canopy that shows the wind flow. It's extremely simple but useful tool made from a length of woven wool. The yaw string is proof that the glider is turning left or right. With this single piece of thread, you can know whether the gliding is slipping to the outside or the inside of the turn. While turning, if you looked at your yaw string, you would see it spinning in perfect equilibrium. If the yaw string is curved, you apply pressure to the rudder in the opposite direction. Okay, let's turn counterclockwise. While checking the yaw string, Kotori operated the yoke and rudder. The glider sailed links, this time turning smooth in equilibrium.
皆さん、アイスを買ってきたのでどうぞ。ヨルちゃん気が利くねー。やったー、アイスだー。どう姉さん。まだ飛んでるよ、小鳥先輩。よくわからないけど、初めてじゃないみたいに上手。小鳥はすごいなー。もう私よりうまいぞ。あの子、もともと運動神経はいいみたいだし、それに、シミュレーターをかなりやり込んでたものね。知ってたんだ。偶然見ちゃっただけです。秘密基地でコソコソしてるから何してるのかと思って。努力してる姿を人に見せない小鳥先輩、かっけーです。単に張り切ってるのバレるのが恥ずかしかっただけだと思うけど。でも、小鳥が努力家なのは間違いないわね。
However, there was still plenty of allowance space to fly. Thanks to Kotori, we kept the altitude constant. The glider for an instant glided unsteadily without air.
何？今の。
It was probably a thermal. If we fly in those, we need to go higher.
了解!
Kotori flew the glider around and around, searching for good patches of air like they flew in before. Ah! Found one.
あった！サーマル!
That was the heart of the thermal. When you find one of those, you should use a small turning radius as much as possible. In a lazy figure-8 pattern, Kotori flew as she searched for the heart of the thermal. Suddenly, the glider noticeably gained altitude.
あった！あそこね。
Kotori found the heart, took the yoke, and quickly tried to turn it. What? The glider pivoted and turned to a deeper banking angle. As we returned sideways, they were assaulted with strong G-force. It felt as if all of our bullets went to one side. We could lose consciousness. When you're not controlling the glider, the unpredictable G-force can be killer. Remember that when you're flying. Hey, when you're circling, be more gentle.
ごめん。
Kotori loosened up onto the yoke. Then gently banking the glider, G-force becomes less aggressive.
今のダメだった？
Let's look at the barometer. Even though the glider should be entering the thermal's heart, you are actually falling. When you bank deeply, the falling ratio should also be high. While checking the strength of the core, you should try and find the perfect turning radius. If the turning radius is small and the banking is deep, the glider will lose altitude. Furthermore, to reascend, you have to find a strong thermal. Ideal conditions of banking somewhat deeply into the heart of a strong thermal. However, there are limitations. If that's not the case, your banking is shallow, you must reduce altitude.
要は臨機応変ってことね。
Jawohl, but that's just to stay in the heart of the thermal. It would be stupid to make a quick turn. Even if you're in the heart of a strong upwind, but banking deeply, the glider cannot be carried upwards. Furthermore, it's a continuous G-force will quickly make you lose consciousness.
だって今すぐもっと高く飛びたいんだもん。
Kotori said this as if she really couldn't wait. Seriously? You're an evil Knievel type, aren't you? Regardless, it was a good-looking turn. Although we saw the yaw strings, the glider was barely gliding. At first glance, it wouldn't seem like it, but in reality, it was perfectly balanced and a beautiful turn. Altitude loss was also kept at a minimum. You don't have to rush. It's good if you can climb slowly. Kotori replied merrily and banked appropriately to take the glider higher.
くるくる回ってる。サーマルを捕まえたのね。おー、あんなに高く。見ているだけで怖いぞ。初フライトで張り切りすぎじゃないかしら。ちょっと、葵、聞こえる？
Was? Ageha?
上がりすぎじゃないの？
We found a great thermal. It's okay. We're following it.
ならいいけど。小鳥、あんまり無茶するんじゃないわよ。
It's just like I said. It's fine.
うん、わかった。
The concentrated voice came back. Kotori, who was riding the thermal, did so with complete concentration. He saw the scenery on the ground fading away and was honestly surprised. I have practically nothing left to teach. Finally, all basic operations are practically perfect. To say it wasn't... What is that? No matter how many times you use the simulator and real flying are not the same thing. But Kotori quickly came to trust her intuition and was able to find the unseen thermals and takes the glider higher. Flying in a glider? 9. The sense of flying in a glider might be the most amazing thing ever.
空が近づいてきた。
While gazing at the other side of the canopy, Kotori muttered, the glider steadily climbed higher. This thermal's a good one, quite strong. There's quite a bit of crosswinds right now. We should be careful. I explained as Kotori looked down.
こんなに高い。地上の景色が霞んで、なんだか現実の景色じゃないみたい。
That's because we're twice as high up as Tokyo Tower right now. Right now, our altitude is approximately 700 meters. It was a good thermal, and it was Kotori's first time at this height.
風車の丘ってあんな形してたのね。まるで三日月みたい。
Windmill Hill was almost directly below us. At this height, we had a near unbroken view. The hill ran semicircular alongside the lake. Z shape stops the wind blowing across the sea. The force builds and runs up the hill, causing the windmills to turn. The wind comes off the lake and stops where the half-moon lake ends. When that happens, the collective strength of the wind runs up the hill. The windmills were built there because of this phenomenon.
気持ちいいね。飛ぶのって。
Kotori sighed softly for the moment.
すごく自由な感じ。足のことなんて忘れちゃいそう。
Even though flying in the air, Kotori doesn't need her legs. Only in times like these could I truly seem to feel fine. I knew it.
Oh.
Kotori, rather than letting somebody fly you, flying yourself suits you. Kotori thought about it before answering.
そうかも。私、小鳥って名前でしょ？小さい頃からなんとなくいつも空を見上げてたの。飛んでみたいなって思いながら。まさか叶うなんて思ってなかったけど。
My name, well, my father named me. His hobby was photography. He'd often take pictures of the sky. The day I was born, the skies were a bright blue, so he named me Aoi, or so he says.
へえ。じゃあ、ここは葵くんの故郷みたいなもんだね。
So, we're kind of the same. During that embarrassing exchange, they laughingly answered. Now that you mention it, when I heard how I got my name, it was a clear blue day too. And that special feel to it. Well, after that, I learned that the character for my name, Aoi, actually refers to a greenish blue color, and I had disappointed me.
空の上って気持ちいい。ずっと飛んでいられたらいいのに。
Being in the glider, unbound by gravity, soaring the sky, created an odd feeling. I saw Kotori's profile mechanically she gazed out, and I thought she looked like a beam from far away place. That was negligent. And always pay attention to the conditions of the atmospheric pressure. Don't forget. If you don't, you'll fall.
Hi!
With a strong answer, Kotori gripped the yoke firmly.
こっち片付け完了しました。お疲れさー。今日はこれでおしまいね。
We flew until sunset and then left the field. Between maintained and rest days, we got in 5 flights at Freddy's.
今日は1回のフライトが長かったよね。
That was bad, I apologize. There certainly were some great thermals. It was the ideal soaring conditions. The best way to progress is to fly as much as possible. Because the flying times are restricted, it's best to be in the sky as long as possible. Today, Kotori certainly improved, even in her takeoff and landings.
小鳥は本当にすごいな。同じ人間とは思えないぞ。
Hamane was quite impressed with today. All thanks go to the cockpit that Hamane designed for us.
うん、役に立ってよかった。
By the way, where did you go?
あの人なら外にいたわよ。片付けサボってぼーっとしてた。
Asa stepped out for a minute and told us. Wait, isn't that Yoru though? Game, you're throwing me for a loop here.
今日はもう終わりだって言ってきて。
Okay. Das ist fair. When we left our secret base, Kotori momentarily gazed into the evening sky. What were you doing?
体が揺れてるように感じるの。まだ空の上にいるみたい。
This is the top of the hill. From here, if you look just right, it could seem like you were in the air flying. Even though this was your first flight, you got a considerable amount of fly time in. Kotori looked up into the sky. She seemed to yearn completely for it.
どうしよう。私、明日からもう普通じゃいられない。だって、こんなに楽しいことをしちゃって。頭の中が空っぽになっちゃったみたい。
I was just like that on the day of my first flight, too. Living with your feet on the ground even felt annoying. It would be amazing if I could fly again, and again, and again. And with that goal in mind, I spent a whole year preparing. As the sky was a daytime blue full of countless twinkling stars. Kotori's eyes shone like the stars as she gazed in love at the sky. A day near the end of August. At the start of summer vacation, near half Flying Fish Manor's residents leave. It's been a while since the building's been crowded.
野菜切り終わりました。こっちもできたわ。鍋煮えてるわよ。 次どうするの？これオーブンに入れて焼くのよね。何分くらい？
Everyone was asking for my instructions all at once. I feel like a master chef. Alright then, put the cut vegetables into the boiling water, cover the pot and let it boil for around 10 minutes. Wait a minute, I'm baking that. Bake it together with these. Take charge, Chef Ramsay. While snapping instructions on the fly, I myself also had a job to do. It had been a long time since I'd prepared dinner for such a large number of people.
私は何をすればいいかな？
Hey, Amane, could you come over here and check out the TV?
危ないから包丁持っちゃダメよ。かな、あまねちゃんのお守りよろしく。はいよー。望月先輩、こっちで一緒にテレビ見ましょう。私も何かしたいのに。
Even though she really did want to help, Kaneko dragged Amane in front of the TV. People and food. The heat and fire from the oven and stove. Mixed together, it seemed like a war zone. Why does it suddenly feel like this?
ついに合宿だよ、ヨルちゃん。ワクワクだね。別にいつもと変わらないと思うんだけど。自分の部屋で寝るんでしょ？
Today is the first day back at the Soaring Club's dormitory. However, the truth is that nothing really changes that much. Aga still stays at her family home, and Amane still comes here for free grub. This is what dorm life is about. And just like last year, there's an early morning watch duty. By the end of summer, a morning glory will make an appearance. It wouldn't be strange for it to appear any time now. To be on watch duty meant that you had to stay overnight at the secret base and watch for even the slightest change in weather. I prepared dinner earlier than usual to try taking advantage of having everyone gathered. Immediately from tonight, we'll have a meeting. Alright, finished.
美味しそうな料理がたくさん。
Come over here and help me bring it to the table, okay?
はい。
The food that everyone prepared was carried to the table. The sight of so much hearty food on platters seemed to put everyone in good spirits.
久しぶりの葵くんのご飯だ。お腹すいたよ。もう食べていい？
Before we start, the leader has a few things she'd like to say. Kotori cleared her throat with authority.
皆さん、この1年、本当にご苦労様でした。いよいよ、私たちの目標であり、夢でもある、モーニンググローリーを飛ぶ日が近づいてきています。本番は一度きり、失敗は許されません。夏が終わるまでの間、気合を入れて、絶対に失敗しないよ。長いぞ、小鳥。もうお腹ペコペコだよ。ねえ、私スワリング部じゃないし、先に食べてていいかな。カカ。こいつら。
Come on, seriously, the food's gonna get cold.
わーったわよ。美味しいものお腹いっぱい食べて気合い入れていくわよ。はい、いただきまーす。
At once, everyone scrambled to take food.
たくも気分台無しだわ。
Well, when you go out with all guns blazing like that, it's hard to keep the momentum up until the end.
そんなことないもん。私は最後の一兵になっても戦うわ。
I'm not exactly sure what I'm off to fight, but I'm going in with a great fighting spirit nonetheless. Since I flew the gliders the other day, my motivation's been boundless but wasted. Over the past few days, from dawn till dusk, I've been practicing flying. I've kept my exhaustion hidden, however my improvement flying is physically visible.
あの綺麗な雲がまた見られるんですよね。そういや、朝ちゃんは去年の雲を風車の丘から見てたんだっけ？はい、すごく綺麗でした。あの雲も空を飛ぶグライダーも。でもあれよりもすごいんですよね。あれは厳密にはモーニンググローリーとは呼べないものだったからね。
Amane, try not to speak with your mouth full. That's very prudish.
あまねちゃん、食べるか喋るかどっちかにして。
Precisely.
あれこそが今年の夏に本物のモーニンググローリーが来る予兆だったんだ。
Today, we heard that last year's cloud sighting could very well be a sign that this year a real morning glory was indeed coming. The story goes back a few hours ago. Flashback sequence!
以上のデータが私の推論の根拠だ。
The computer screen showed the variety of data types Amane referred to.
つまり？この夏の終わりにモーニンググローリーが発生する可能性は非常に高い。
Amane's words brought a quiet tension and excitement to the realm. I listened to Amane's speech and believed it was sound logic. 質問いいでしょうか？なんだい？可能性が高いというのはどのくらいなんでしょうか？
そうだな。詳細な数字までは言えないが、大雑把に計算して、およそ 30% ってところじゃないかな。低っ！ちょっと、それのどこが高いのよ！全く起こらないのが普通だとしたら、随分と高い方なんじゃないかしら。
It was just as Yoru said, flawless logic. The phenomenon known as a morning glory occurs but once in a few decades.
でもそれだとむしろ大安売りってことじゃない？去年にも規模は小さいものの出現してるわけで。私と葵くんがフライトした1年前のあの雲は、厳密にはモーニンググローリーとは呼べない。じゃあ何なの？ただの出来損ないだ。だがそれも推論の根拠となっている。これを見てほしい。
Amane took the mouse and brought up more data to the screen. Vijus receives this project data from the newly constructed windmills. The data showed detailed weather data around the area collected over the past few months. Amane analyzed the numbers and just recently came to new conclusions. The current display showed two types of data.
これが去年のあの雲が現れた日のデータで、こっちが28年前の8月26日のデータだ。
From August 26th, 28 years ago, a completely unknown date. The data taken from two completely different dates truly resemble each other.
似てるわね。どういうこと？はっきりとした記録はないが、この日、モーニンググローリーの出来損ないが風ヶ浦で発生していたらしいんだ。どういうことですか？つまり、出来損ないの雲が現れた翌年に、本物のモーニンググローリーが現れる可能性が高い。と言いたいんでしょ？
She nodded. Our eyes devoured the information on the screen. At first glance, no matter how much we stared at them, the lists of numbers were meaningless and we could make no sense of them, but Amane's speech won us over. This data reflected 1 year, and it finally was starting to look significant.
それって、夏の終わりじゃなきゃ発生しないものなんですか？それはほぼ間違いない。発生のメカニズムは先ほど説明した通り、湖上空の水蒸気に
筑波山に遮られていた湿った空気が流れ込み、
それはもう分かったから。
Amane began once again to explain things from the beginning, as Kotori held back her confusion. Sometimes such complex explanations just weren't good to hear. Sometimes you just need to know the principles and the result.
いよいよってわけね。
Ah, it's a payback for that day. I couldn't deny a fearless smile forming on my mouth. Amane's explanation was the spark that set fire to my motivation. I was ready for action. The problem lies with the flight plan. We must revise Amane's data. As everyone questioned Amane, I sat and considered the factors.
去年、私と葵くんが飛んだあの雲は、だいたい上空 1km あたりに現れていた。けど、OB の高校日誌によると、27年前のモーニンググローリーは上空 2km。さらに 1km 高く飛ばないといけないのか。
Ageha rubbed her chin as she thought. 2 kilometers is somewhat low for a cloud. Since we're using a winch system to fly, we've yet to experience flying at that altitude.
せめて飛行機があったらな。
そんな高さまで上がれるサーマルなんてあるの？
There should be, but I thought about it for a minute. The problem is, should a morning glory form, it would do so around dawn.
どういうこと？
サーマルがほとんどないんだ。夜の間に地表は冷やされて、温まるまでに時間がかかる。けれど、日の出を待ってそれからのんびり上がったんじゃ間に合わない。
You need sunlight to warm up surface ground. Without the heat from the ground's surface, thermals can't be formed. I listened to Amane's explanation with a nod and added a few words. If possible, you'll want to start flying before sunrise when it's still dim.
でもそれじゃサーマルを見つけるのは難しいと。逆に湖の上にならサーマルがあるんじゃないかな。
The way heat transferred is different between land and water. Land easily heats and cools, but mid-Wasser it's more difficult. During the day, the ground temperature is cooler than over lakes and seas, creating a gentle downdraft. But at night, the opposite occurs. The ground cools first, and the air above the not quite cool lake sends air currents upwards. Well, that would probably be difficult. It's different in the middle of the night, but at sunrise is also expected to be chilled.
だよね。
Of course, with us, we only have one flying technique. We learned a lot from our mistakes last year. This time, we have to create a good flight plan. Up until now, we've talked about it countless times. However, now with the new data, we can come up with something a little more solid. With a sidelong glance, Asa sighed as she opened her mouth.
けど、発生しない確率の方が高いわけよね。それなのにそんなに張り切っちゃって。肩透かしだった時大丈夫なの？
その時はその時よ。来年か、また再来年にでもチャレンジすればいいわ。
But if the cloud comes this year, it's absolutely impossible to run away from it. I put strong force into my words, to which Kotori and Ageha nodded. I can't fucking English today. What is wrong with me? The two of us cannot forget last year's frustration.
そうしてまた、超留年生が生まれるのね。ソアリング部の伝統として受け継がれていくのかも。
そんなの、あまねちゃんだけで十分。
私らも、さすがにそこまではね。いいじゃないか。人よりたくさん学生生活ができてお得だぞ。
Kotori made a firm fist.
ハマネちゃんのようにならないためにも、一発で決めるわよ。
Ageha and I, with serious face expressions, nodded in agreement.
ところで、誰が乗るんですか？
え？
だって、あのグライダー二人乗りですよね。
Asa's innocently asked question popped in all of our heads, but none of us could make the words come out of our mouths. We looked at each other, and then, at practically the same time, we all gazed at Amane.
私は乗らないぞ。上空 2km なんて想像しただけで怖いからな。
あまねちゃんは本当にそれでいいの？あの人どかなかった場所に今度こそ行けるかもしれないのよ。
Amane easily shook her head.
言っただろ。私がここでこうしているのは君たちを手伝うためだって。
When she says it straight like that, it tends to sound kinda sad. For the senior students, the glider's a thing of the past.
まあ、それはおいおい考えればいいんじゃない？それより、今はどうやって上がるかよ。
That's right. For the time being, we don't even have a flight plan. Everyone ate while discussing ideas. The argument became increasingly more heated. The bath is open! I walked into the dining hall as I towel-dried mine ha. The usual crowd already came and went. I was usually the last to take a bath. Today I went in first, though. Everyone was hanging out at our normal table.
姉さん、ババを引いたわね。そんなことないよ。全然そんなことないよ。朝ちゃんは素直でわかりやすい
Did Amane already head home?
の。お腹いっぱいになったからって。葵にごちそうさま言っといてってさ。あまね先輩が食いしん坊でよかったよね。おかげでこうして遊びに来てくれるもん。
If that wasn't the case, I would just be a babysitter composing poorly written emails. I don't know if that's supposed to be like an analogy or a metaphor or something, but it's probably lost in translation if it is. And Kotori?
部屋でこそ練してんじゃないかな。
The simulator? The other day, Kotori borrowed Hibari's laptop. She's been using it to practice on the simulator in her realm. Unfortunately, people don't see Kotori's hard work as a virtue. Rather, they see her as being antisocial and too good. Everyone calls it secret practicing.
私呼んできましょうか？
Nine, it's cool. They shouldn't bother her.
でも、葵先輩、もう行っちゃうんですよね。
I'm not saying that we shouldn't meet with her at all, just for the time being. Well, it would be nice to see her some. Right, I'm gonna go get ready.
喉乾いた。お、やっと出てきた。あんた、まだいたんだ。あまねちゃんはもう帰ったの？うん、帰ったよ。でもって、私もそろそろ帰るところ。さ、気をつけてね。葵なら、もう出てったわよ。嘘！もうこんな時間？彼氏ほっぽり出してシミュレーターに夢中とは。さすが、空に片思いしてる女ね。いってらっしゃい言いたかったのに。
There really is a great view of the sky from here. While climbing up the slanted surface of Windmill Hill, I gazed at the starry sky that spread along the hill. It was clear today, giving a great view of the stars. On top of that, from Windmill Hill, there are a few obstructions to block the view. Last year, the same sheet-covered glider was placed on the runway. From the secret base, the view is better than from Flying Fish Manor's garden. Where the change in the atmosphere came from, I don't know. You have to catch it within even a second's time. I'm doing the watch alone. However, in this remote location, it isn't safe to have one girl sitting here, so the shift is done in pairs. I drop off and I pick them up here, but having even two people here during the night is worrying. Nothing but solar panels and windmills in the sprawling space. As if neither human nor machine no longer touch. Inside my pocket, my cell phone chimed. Got a mail, eh? It was from Kotori. It was the kind of mail that makes the heart go fuzzy. I didn't realize it, but it seemed that I was lonely. Tomorrow morning, I'll get up early and wait for you. Gute Nacht. Finally, a small smile escaped my lips. Who would have thought? Something like this is nice. There were no words to truly describe it. Reading the mail gave me a strange but relieving feeling. Thanks for your message. You are working hard on practicing, right?
なんで練習してたってバレてるんだろう。
There's also aviation practice tomorrow, so there's no reason to overdo it. Get some rest, okay? If you go home, could you help get breakfast ready? Ich liebe dich. Gute Nacht.
好きだよ。だって。キュンとしちゃった。おやすみ、葵くん。よーし、明日に備えて寝るぞー。クワックワッ。その前に、私も好きだよってメールしよっと。
いたいた。おーい、あげは
ー。おお、麻婆じゃん。それに、あかりさんも。こんにちは、姫木さん。約束通り、見学させてもらいに来たわ。どうも、こんにちは。お待ちしてました。どうぞ、存分に見てってください。
で、そのグライダーはどこにあるんだ？
今、訓練飛行中。だいぶ高く上がってるから、ああ、いたいた。
どこだ？
この双眼鏡を使ってください。ありがとう。どのあたりかしら。ほら、長細い雲がある下あたりに、翼が太陽の光を反射してるのを見えません？ああ、今光った。あれがそうなの？グライダーが飛んでいるところは初めて見たけど、すごいのね。あんなに高く。日によりますけど、理論上なら、それこそ雲の上にだって行けますから。ほれ。
おー、ほんとだ！すげえ、飛んでる！エンジンついてないんだろ？よく飛べるな。
誰が操縦を？小鳥です。ハバネさんが？空を飛ぶのに、 足を使う必要はありませんから。葵が一緒に乗って教えてるんです。なるほど。
おいおい、やべえぞ。なんか回転しながら落ちてる。
Wait, what? Fell toward the ground, spinning in a corkscrew. The field of vision spins, and the sense of balance is lost. As he turns the screw to the outer side, he experiences G-force. Don't lose your grip on things. Deal with the G-force. If you do it like I taught you, you can do it. First, put the aileron in neutral. Next, rotate the yoke in the opposite direction of the glider spin.
回転方向の逆にフルラダー。
Before I started instructing her, Kotori already steered in the direction opposite of the rudder. Immediately, the yoke moved in the direction. Try not to let the nose fall too much. The main wings need to take the lifting power back. Finally, when the nose of the glider fell just right, the wings moved airflow and regular flight was restored. When you placed the rudder in neutral, it was as if nothing at all happened. It flew like normal. Great recovery! When normality returns, Kotori took a look at the outside landscape and sighed deeply through it. We didn't just almost avoid an accident. I had intentionally let the glider spin. We'd just been practicing spin recover tactics. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. We didn't lose practically any altitude. Great flying, Kotori.
さすがに普通のストーリーより焦るわね。
The stall is the main way to use the air currents creating a phenomena of power. Without lifting power, the glider will fall. However, if you know the right procedures, you can recover from the stall. So for the sake of study, you need to create a stall situation in practice. Most importantly, serving a glider pilot is the practice. Just as right now, spin and stall procedures, even in practice, are still quite vicious. Spin is the part of the body the plane turns like a screw while falling. In a worst-case scenario situation, a weak point in the frame of the body can be lost, forcing the pilot's parachute. Compared to the response time, you dealt with the procedures very precisely. Were you scared?
あんまりリカバリーできるイメージが頭の中にあったからかな。
I see. During a stall, the pilot becomes confused. While spinning, the pilot experiences the sensation of falling, and it's a pretty scary feeling. It's natural to become flustered, your only thought being that of, I gotta get control. However, it's that confusion should the pilot perform the wrong maneuver, take it worse in the situation into the most horrible of circumstances. Kotori didn't lose confidence or her calm control in this scenario and recovered quickly. She had such a level head for her first recovery. The first time I practiced this maneuver, I remember holding my calm pretty quickly.
なんとなく感覚はつかめてきたわ。
Don't get cocky. During stalls and spins, if you forget the fear, your ability to react might be slowed. When talking about stalls, there are two types of practice. The first regards how to recover. The second is about teaching the body signs to tell when it's about to stall or spin. There are several signs. More importantly than reading the meters is understanding the feeling of flying. In this case, the body is introduced to G-force. Once experienced, the body will remember taking the sensation enough to prompt the pilot into taking measures to prevent a stall. The experience of recovery, of course, is also important. Thanks to practices like these, I think Amane and I escaped some harm.
あの時は見ていてヒヤヒヤしたわ。下降気流にはまったんだっけ？
A year ago, we experienced a strong downdraft. We suddenly lost flight power and fell. We were so absorbed in the moment that it seems the glider fixed itself upright. I think it was due to mastering these skills in practice. Alright, let's find a thermal again and take up to the sky.
Hi!
To continue practicing recoveries, we had to make a good enough height to fall safely.
なるほど。意図的にそういった状態にして、そこから回復する訓練を行っていたのですか。
危ねえことするんだな。
大丈夫よ。いざとなったら葵がフォローするから。
やはり、空を飛ぶというのは、それだけ危険なことなのね。
あいつら降りてこないぞ。
また上がってもう一回やるんでしょ。私らにはあんまり時間が残されてないからね。
どういう意味かしら。
天音先輩の予言によると、あと10日以内にモーニンググローリーが現れる可能性が高いんです。
モーニンググローリー？
湖の上に大きな雲の回廊がかかるんです。それを飛ぶのが私たちの目的だから。
望月先輩が写真立てに飾っていた、あの不思議な雲のことね。
小鳥にその気があるなら、あの子をメインパイロットにして飛ばせてやってもいいんじゃないかって、葵たちとも話してるんです。本人にはまだ内緒なんですけど。まずはみっちりしごいて、本当に小鳥でいけるのか見極めないと。
そう。それにしても、変わったわね、幅根さん。慶風学園に入学してきた頃から随分と。
そんな頃から知ってるんですか？
ええ、もちろんよ。足の不自由な生徒が入学してくると聞いて気にかけていたのよ。
さすが。生徒会長になるために生まれてきたお人だわ。
まあ、同じ学年で知らない奴はいなかったけどな。態度超悪いって有名だったもんな。
だよね。2年で同じクラスになった時はどうしてやろうかと。
どうした？誰だあれ？こっち来るぞ。
あれって。
And Shouldergong? Kotori inside a thermal gradually took the glider higher. They'll be good any time now.
もう少し上がれそう。もっと高く飛んでもいい？
The purpose of today's training is to cover stall recovery, and there's no reason to fly higher than this. But the way Kotori asked, I couldn't say 9. Sure, let's see how much higher we can go. Being able to catch a thermal and fly higher is important practice after all.
ありがとう。
Kotori flew the glider around the updrafts that the eyes couldn't see. Little by little, she brought the glider higher and higher. This is the place you always wanted to see, right?
入道雲って成層圏まで突き抜けてるんでしょ？
They really are big, aren't they?
その中へ入れば私たちも成層圏まで飛べるのかしら？
We might be able to fly up here, but this is where we should stop. Inside cumulonimbus, the air flows in downbursts. Never mind shit like thunder. We should keep the safety first. Even jumbo jets will avoid cumulonimbus clouds as they can. Aside for us, at these heights, the sky is like an unknown road for us. I'd rather stay safe and be able to go home than take a chance of going in briefly without incident.
空って高いのね。
Beyond the sky is space. Kotori absentmindedly muttered, "Space," as she gazed out beyond the canopy. From her profile, she looked like a mysterious child. When Amane flew, she kept her curiosity in behind the shining eyes of the young fowl. But Kotori gave the impression to be very young. People usually ask that to show my feelings. about what you said before. About me when I was gazing at the sky and all that. You said I was really cool.
そうよ。ため息が出るくらいかっこいいわ。
Well, about you, Kotori. Flying in the sky like this. This is the true Kotori.
そうかな。
This Kotori is surely the true Kotori, it seems. Kotori glanced quickly back at the glass.
本当の私？
Yeah, I don't know you from long ago, but this you I see, well, it's a feeling I have. When we fly like this, it warms my heart, makes me excited. It's strange, but when we fly together, I somehow know more than GF. Seeing her face expression that can only be seen while flying in the sky, expressions that only I can see. When I say excitement, I want to get to know her more. I want to see more of this.
本当の私？
I'm sorry to bring up such an odd subject during flight. Please just forget about it.
一時的に忘れる。
Okay, for now, Das is good. This time, take the glider into a spin yourself and then set her right again.
はい。
Alright, let's do it. I instructed Kotori into a spin and she flew us. After performing some spin maneuvers, Kotori became tired and was ready to land. The body practice on the past bird being expected was necessary. He brought the glider to its final approach on the runway. Today the crosswind was strong. Enters the runway with the noise of the nose pointing upwards.
了解。
Kotori safely and acutely landed the glider on the runway.
おかえりなさい。小鳥先輩、葵先輩。
We fucking did it.
ただいまー。疲れた。
Kotori, who was transferred from the cockpit seat to her wheelchair, looked completely exhausted. Well, you flew quite a bit today. I was also quite tired. Training practice and the constant attention to safety still made me nervous.
おかえりなさい、ハバネさん。生徒会長、来てたんだ。下から見させてもらったわ。あなたたちが夢中になるのもわかる気がする。でしょ？
Presidential sanctions, baby! Let's go! On the ground for who knows how long, Kamui and Masatsugu waited.
さっきね、800メートルくらいまで上がったのよ。なんなら生徒会長も後で乗ってみる？ええ。だけど、その前に。
Miss Kamui, for some reason, had an unpleasant expression on her face. Ageha stuck her head out from behind.
小鳥、ちょっといい？何？あげ。
This can't be good. Kotori looked behind Ageha's shoulder and was surprised to see another person standing there. But she was dumbfounded when she recognized who it was.
どうして、ひばり姉が。
Hibari stared at Kotori's look of disbelief. Her face turned pale and her knees began to quiver. At first, I thought she was angry, but she quickly regained her composure. It was Hibari that was shaking in anger.
小鳥ちゃん。
She called Kotori's name with a quivering voice as she drew closer towards her.
どうしてこんな。違うのお姉ちゃん。これは。
The explanation that Kotori wanted to give wouldn't come out.
あなたが乗っていたなんて。お願い、落ち着いてひばりね。私の話を聞いて。
Yo! Oh my god. Oh my god, that didn't just happen. That did not just fucking happen. Oh my god, it happened, didn't it? Jesus Christ.
お姉ちゃん。
What the fuck?
あなたは自分がどうしてそんな体になってしまったのか忘れちゃったの？
Hibari's tears mixed with her anguished cry. Her knees trembled. She shook so much that she might physically collapse. It wasn't anger, but fear.
忘れてないよ。でもこれは気球じゃない。私たちが作ったクライダー。同じよ。このことをお父さんやお母さんが知ったらどうなるか。あ、待って、それだけはやめて。そんなことしたらお父さんたちがどうなるか分かってて隠してたのね。ごめんなさい。でもこのことはお父さんたちに言うから。
Hibari wouldn't hear another word, with a cold voice said, and turned her back on Kotori and walked away.
待って、お姉ちゃん。
Oh my god, man. Kotori tried to chase after Hibari, but she left too quickly.
お姉ちゃん。
Kotori watched Hibari's back disappear behind a wall of eyes full of tears. With the finishing operations done, we headed back to the office.
小鳥は？
She just went home. For the time being, we should try to keep it down.
そうね。で、結局何だったの？あれは。
After that, the mood changed. Everyone silently finished the last procedures of the day. While everyone gathered at the office, I headed up to Kotori's dorm room. Kotori's legs got that way in an accident. An accident that involved a hot air balloon crashing on its way to the destination. The trip was offered through a service that offered sightseeing packages. Kotori was riding into the balloon with her motor, and it crashed. Everyone seemed to have only minor injuries. Everyone except Kotori.
だからって、あの取り乱しようは普通じゃなかったわ。ひばりさん、まるで目の前で事故が起こったみたいに震えてたよね。
At the time of the hot air balloon accident, Hibari and her father were standing close enough to see it happen. Hibari undoubtedly saw Kotori getting out of the glider, and it probably brought back some rather unpleasant memories. Kotori was hiding the fact that she was flying from Hibari. I'm guessing that she didn't want to bury anyone.
そんな事情があったなんてね。
Agaha, it seems, was swore to secrecy. Hibari knew that Kotori was in the soaring club, but she probably assumes that Kotori was helping to service the glider or some such shit.
あの人の家庭の事情はよく知らないけれど、娘がグライダーに乗ってるなんて知ったら、ご両親はさぞ心配するでしょうね。小鳥先輩がコックピットから降りてくるのを見たとき、ひばりさん、真っ青でした。どうしようかね、これから。
I don't know. For now, let's try and talk with Kotori later, okay? That we can try to contact Hibari. I still couldn't believe that Hibari slapped Kotori like that. That she was that fucking pissed.
Hato. か。お姉ちゃんのこと、悲しませちゃった。いつも私のこと一番に考えて、優しくしてくれてたお姉ちゃんなのに。でも私、飛びたいんだもん。お姉ちゃんや、お父さんやお母さんに心配かけたくないけど、どうしても飛びたいの。どうすればいい？ねえ、ハト。どうして私は飛びたいんだろう。今日はすみませんでした。お見苦しいところをお見せしてしまって。
Nine. I'm sorry for intruding. I understand your concerns. On my way home, I called Hibari to try and explain the situation. Why Kotori decided to join the Soaring Club. What kind of activities the Soaring Club participated in. Without hiding anything.
クラブ活動のおかげなんですよね。小鳥ちゃんが元気になっていったのは。
Jawohl, I agree.
でも。
I heard about the situation from Kotori. She's really stressing out about you, Hibari. Thanks to you, she's been really down. God, do we really... I know what went down, but do we still really need to put it like that? She said when she'd calm down, she'd try and get in touch with you.
ありがとうございます、みなしさん。私からもメールをしてみます。今は感情的になってしまって、ちゃんと話せそうにないので。
You think? Yeah, please just talk to her. After I got off the phone, I sighed. From where I stood, I could see Kotori's bedroom window, but the light was off. She's probably exhausted from crying and fell asleep. My god.
おかえりなさい。
Dankeschön. Kotori stood at the entranceway playing with Hat. She wore a mask that smiled, undoubtedly trying to be brave.
もうお腹ペコペコよ。早くご飯にしましょう。双子シスターズは？
I wanted to get some ramen today, so I said I think I'll go out to eat.
ラーメンか。いいの？
She was really considerate of my feelings. Kotori
今日はハヤシライスだったわね。牛肉買いと。
Okay, there we go. Kotori promptly went to the refrigerator and began pulling out the ingredients for dinner. Okay.
そうしなきゃ。マッシュルームはと。
I did not know that the wheel of my mouse did a control here. Are you okay?
どうかな。多分平気じゃないと思う。
Right. I know Kotori's trying to come across as happy, but somehow there was a crack in that mask of pleasantries.
お姉ちゃんとは落ち着いてから話してみる。黙ってたこと謝りたいし。でも、お父さんたちには内緒にしとかないといけない。
To keep them from being worried, Kotori shakes her head.
お父さんにバレたら、無理やりにでも家に連れ戻されちゃうもん。だから、今はまだ黙ってないと。
But Hibari said she called my dad today.
やめてってお願いするつもりよ。夏休みが終わるまでって、期限付きで。そしたら、あとは自分で話すわ。もしお父さんとお母さんが、グライダーに乗っちゃダメって言うなら、その時は、すっぱり諦める。この夏で引退ってわけ。去年のあまねちゃんみたいでしょ？
Kotori.
だから、葵くんも。
Ah, got it. I got your back, no matter what.
ありがとう。葵くん。
Kotori, who smiled as she thanked me, despite the large tears that formed in her eyes and were ready to spill.
あれ、なんだろう。なんで今頃泣いてるの、私。
Kotori, with both hands, wiped away the tears.
安心したからかな。葵くんが味方してくれるって分かって。
You don't have to say it like that. I leaned over to Kotori nearby and tugged her gently. Kotori buried her face in my shoulder and sobbed.
お姉ちゃんに叩かれたの初めてだよ。すごいびっくりした。
Hibari's always been kind.
そうなの。優しいの。私の周りには優しい人いっぱいなの。なのに私自分勝手で。
I pet Kotori's hair and said nothing as she cried herself out. God.
以上が昨日起こった出来事に関係する我が家の事情です。みんな迷惑をかけてごめんなさい。
After explaining the situation to everybody, Kotori gave a deep bow. As I'd already told everyone about the balloon incident and her staying quiet about the glider to her parents and Hibari, no one was shocked to hear her tell it.
それはいいんだけどさ。あんたは続けられるの？
そのつもり。少なくともこの夏が終わるまではね。どういうことですか？ひばり姉にお願いしたの。夏休みが終わったら自分で話すから、それまでお父さんたちには黙っててって。
Hibari had seemed a bit disappointed at the idea, but ultimately had agreed to Kotori's request. No matter what, Kotori is her little sister.
お父さんたちがグライダーのこと知ったら反対すると思う。それだけじゃないわ。きっと無理にでも家に連れ戻されちゃう。そんな。だからお父さんたちがダメって言うなら、私はこの夏で部活を引退するつもり。引退って。待ってよ、そんなの。ごめん、アゲハ。
Ageha bit her tongue as Kotori apologized. She knew that persisting would only cause trouble for Kotori.
ソアリング部に席を置いていても飛びさえしなければいいんじゃないの？
Kotori shook her head.
多分、関わることも許してくれないと思う。それに、もう信じてはくれないだろうし。
We don't know how her father would react until it actually happens. But she did keep it a secret. It would be naive to think you could be trusted again after that.
それに、みんな らのおかげで、私はもう空を飛ぶ気持ちよさを知っちゃったから。二度と飛べないって分かってるのに、グライダーの近くに居続けるなんて、多分無理。みんな自分で蒔いた種だから、しょうがないわ。自己責任ってやつね。
Asa started to look sad. Yoru also didn't seem convinced.
じゃあ、私も引退かな。
Hey, hey, what did you just say?
だってさ、私は楽しいからやってるわけ。楽しくないならやる価値なし。小鳥がいないなら、もうやーんぴ。
Looking disappointed, Agaha folded her arms behind her head. Quitting.
バカなこと言わないでよ。せっかくここまでやってきたんじゃない。あまねちゃん飛ばすために、みんなでグライダーを修理して。ガレージ壊されちゃった後も、朝たちのおかげで、こんな立派な活動場所を見つけて、やっと、機体の改良ができて、また飛べるようになって、ようやくまともに活動できるようになったんじゃない。
だからでしょ？私はグライダーでも何でもよかったの。ロボット部の方が楽しけりゃ、あっち続けてたと思う。でも、葵や小鳥やあまね先輩と、ものづくりする方が面白いから、私はこっちを選んだの。小鳥、あんたと何かするのが楽しかったの。そのあんたがいなくなっちゃうんじゃん。なんかもうつまんない。
アゲハ。
Kotori gave Agaha a look that filled with both happiness and frustration. I agree.
葵くんまで。
I didn't only want to fly the glider. Yeah, it was really fun, I liked it a lot, but it was only fun because you all were here. If all I wanted to do was fly, I could have gone to the gliding field and flown till I was sick of it. It was amazingly fun, and I didn't want to quit. It wasn't what I truly wanted, though. If we can't do it together...
朝のことはどうすんのよ。
Asa looked as if she was about to cry.
いえ、私はいいんです。終わってしまうのは悲しいですけど、皆さんの熱い友情も素敵ですし、それに、私だって同じです。空を飛んでみたいからソアリング部に入ったんじゃありません。皆さんの仲間に入りたくて、ソアリング部に入ったんです。朝。
無理しちゃって。
無理してないもん。本当だもん。
まあ、そうよね。ただ飛びたいだけなら、おじいちゃんにお願いすれば一発だものね。ってことで、あんたが引退するなら、ソアリング部は即時解散ね。
God damn, that's an ultimatum.
ダメよ、そんなの。責任感じちゃうじゃない。
感じればいいんじゃないかしら。実際あるわけだし。
You don't have to rub salt in like that. She is the club leader.
あんたらって。
Well, I guess we're piling in on the salt too.
話をまとめるわよ。夏が終わるまでは、今まで通り、全力でモーニンググローリーを目指す。その後は、知らん。ある意味今までと何も変わってないわね。
Not yet, anyway.
頑張りましょうね、小鳥先輩。
You could almost say this problem made us all closer. At least it seemed like everyone felt that way.
葵、ついでにあの話もしとく？
Oh yeah. Well, about the flight. That is, when Morning Glory makes its appearance. Kotori, you're gonna be the main pilot. Frustrated by having her hands held back by Asa, Kotori listened to me dumbfounded. You've got enough skill to be the pilot. You don't have enough experience, but I'll help with that.
でも、葵くんだって自分で飛びたいんじゃ。
Well, yeah, that's true. But it's fine with me as long as someone flies over the clouds.
アゲハたちはそれでいいの？私はほら、別に飛びたいわけじゃないから。他に乗りたい人がいるなら、譲るのはやぶさかじゃないってところね。
私は、先輩たちがそれでいいならいいです。
私はただの部外者です。みんな、ありがとう。私のために。
Kotori looks as if she's about to cry tears of joy.
ああ、一つ訂正しとくけど、別にあんたのためじゃないからね。私は、私のためにやってるの。
Same here.
私もです。
Me too.
Not knowing how to take it all, Kotori began to show a complex mix of emotions. I almost laughed at the odd combination of tears and look of amusement on her face.
だから、遠慮なんかするなってこと。
You can fly if you want to. Kotori started to cry again, this time with a smile on her face. And you know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave it off here, because this episode has just been a roller coaster of emotion, so there's a lot to take in, and I don't wanna keep you guys here, keep you guys hanging, so I'm gonna save the rest for next week. Till then, I don't want to overwhelm you guys. That's what I really meant to say. So, till next week, it's been your German boy. Auf Wiedersehen.